around the clock, sports all the time. That's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
Just remember to have fun out there today. And if you lose, I'll kill you.
This is Tall Can Audio.
Seriously, this thing is going to be a cultural disaster.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome inside the TCA studio for the start of another shortened work week here. As the summer rolls on, Matt Robinson along with you. As always, give us a follow on social media at Tall Can Audio. Would love to hear from you there. And a little bit of a change here for today. I was a little under the weather, so weren't able to get into the studio on Monday afternoon and put together the normal start of the week show. So apologies for that. I do have a piece of audio here. It's better than nothing. I suppose you can decide that for yourself. Just about 20 minutes that was clipped out of a show from a couple of weeks ago when Rob and I were talking baseball. This was right around the MLB All-Star break. And he raised the issue of the all-time Blue Jays, the best Blue Jays ever, as listed by a recent article at the time. So we'll link to that in the show notes, and you're going to hear that clip here in a moment. And unfortunately, that's going to be it today. So it'll be a short, much shorter than usual episode of the podcast, especially for the one that normally starts the week. Like I said, I apologize for that. Stay tuned on Thursday morning. You're going to hear from Matt Conisvita. We'll talk about whatever's in the news with him at that point, the sporting news anyway, and certainly about how the Oasis thing went he was in Manchester, England for their first hometown show. So looking forward to hearing some stories about that as well. That'll be on Thursday morning. And we'll see what else we can drum up for you here this week. In the meantime, as I said, here's a piece of audio we were saving for something else a little bit later in the summer that we will give you now just to get something out there. You know, one of the things Bob Nightingale wrote in USA Today on Sunday was about the Blue Jays feeling like this was perhaps their best chance since '93 to get back to the World Series. I don't know how to feel about that, in terms of what the Jays got done in the summer of 2015. At this point in that year, you probably didn't feel like that was on the table. But in 2016, you were a front runner all the way through. But it sort of asks an interesting question about the history of this franchise. And you brought to my attention a piece that Fox Sports had done on all-time All-Stars for the Jays, like a one-time lineup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Throughout the history, if you put somebody together, the best players, top to bottom.
You said Garth Orge. I can't go back.
Yeah, Rance Molnix. Rance Molnix is my second option over at third base.
Yeah.
Can't be Garth Orge.
No.
And interesting to note when we talk about this All-Star break, that this Jays team, which, man, we were very lukewarm maybe strong at the beginning of the season,
Stop dragging me down.
No, you said, you said at the beginning of the season.
Feeling optimistic, wild card team.
I want to enjoy this season. I don't know what's going to happen beyond this. Vlad, Bo still unsigned. You want to enjoy it.
Card picture.
You want to enjoy it. Anyways, however you want to spin it now, you did say, I want to enjoy this.
This isn't one of those things where I have to go back and find where I said it. You agreed with me like 18 minutes ago that I had said this is a wild card quality team. This is a...
Yeah. No, I'm not... I'm just saying the positivity that you had...
That I always bring to this show.
Yes. Yeah, well, no, but much more lately. It's actually, I'm
feeling good, man. It's summer.
On the Jays front anyways.
Sure.
Yeah. It is this sort of, that they have won more games prior to the All-Star break. This franchise, in any other franchise year.
Yes.
Which seems, for a season that started the way it did, optimism was low outside of Matt's pants. And yet... it somehow, with a 10-game win streak, went bam to the top. And you're like, they're going to, with a win today, hopefully, against the A's, will be like 3 or 4 games more than any other
Jays team at this point
in the year.
Yep.
And you're like, for a team that's never won 100 games, you're like, that's on the table. That's on the table this year.
Yeah, man.
Which seems wildly
That part
crazy.
I did not optimistically.
No, nobody did. For a team like this
give
is
the Joe Thornton.
Sure, it's this team. This is the team that's going to win 100 games, maybe. And so
Fox Sports throws down their all-time franchise all-star team, essentially.
yeah. And so to me, I will not. You have not read it.
I haven't seen this.
For those of you who haven't, to me there is a lot of slam dunk portions of this.
Okay.
So I will save you some of the
Humiliation.
or the swing and miss that you
Yes.
would hit me with.
And did.
If the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, what do we think of this, Rob? And you're like,
Name 4 guys who hit 1,000 hits faster than Vladdy.
4 guys who have never been in my kitchen. So starting left fielder, to me, it's
Shannon Stewart.
George Bell.
Yeah.
And so to me, this is Fox
An
Sports.
MVP.
This is a 47 home run guy in 87, AL MVP in 87.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who famously uttered "kiss my purple butt" to the Toronto Star, which I totally love. Another guy who tried to, drop kick Burt Black, right? So to me, there's just George Bell is
A beaut.
He was a beaut in those 80s when the Jays were.
Matty Lang was on the show last week and advocating for the tearing down of the Ted Rogers statue and for the George Bell statue.
All right.
Pretty nice
There's
stuff.
very few things, but Matty Lang and I going arm in arm.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna do this.
High stepping, skipping down the sidewalk.
We're gonna
outside the
we're gonna
dome.
hit left field. We're gonna spend there a couple times at Left Field Brewing, close to the
Yeah, man.
Matty Lang compound. So George Bell,
Yeah.
right field. I don't think you'd be too surprised. Jose Bautista,
Good call.
right? A 50 homer guy back. Just to me in those 15, 16 years, really killing it.
Yep.
Shortstop Tony Fernandez.
Okay.
I don't think there's too much debate
really,
there,
no.
right? Some of you local current guys are saying, "What about my man Bo?"
Or Alex Gonzalez.
Nah.
Okay.
Yep.
Any of them?
Milk commercial.
Yeah.
Second baseman, Robbie Alomar.
Yep.
Right. That seems like a
Controversial,
yeah. Well, now,
but a great player.
but a great player, and probably had he not had his run-ins, my all-time favorite Blue Jay.
Okay.
First base, Carlos Delgado.
Sure.
So
Uh-oh.
yeah, these are
Spots are filling up.
Yeah, this is it, right? And so what I'm left with, and what you're left with, Matt, is let's go with Tom Hankey as the closer, the Terminator.
Sure.
And it's interesting
Got no
because
beef with that.
for those of you who are younger fans, the strikeout rate in the 80s versus what it is now, right? There's a lot more swing and miss in the game now,
Yes.
right? Like you're
The whole swing plane, like guys are trained, hit it the fuck hard, and if it flies out, if it whatever. Whereas before it was almost more about contact as a.
so the
now it's
average
power,
Ks
yeah.
per 9 in the 80s, 5.8.
Okay.
Tom Hankey, 10.5.
Look at this guy.
So that is, you're talking double the average. And he was in the mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who came in at 6'5", 240 pounds. Like, don't worry about the glasses.
Don't you think this is what people loved about BJ Ryan 10, 15 years later? Like, big boy, big Texas guy. He's just
Yeah.
going to come in and mow people down. Now, it turned out not to go quite that way.
Right.
But it sort of rang that bell of like, I remember when Tom Hankey used to do that. for us.
85 through 89, when he came in, the game was closed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was,
Well, and Dwayne Ward before him,
well,
8 and 9. Like,
and
the
that
game was 7 innings long.
This
If
is it.
if you hadn't built a lead by then, it was over.
you're not winning.
No.
So those are the things. So I'm left with catcher, starting pitcher, third baseman, center field. Those are the 4 spots that I sort of went, I don't know, man. I don't know. And
Starting pitcher, catcher, center field, and
third base.
okay.
Third base. So in Fox,
E5.
Edwin Encarnacion, not on the list. So, but third base, in their opinion,
Ed Sprague.
yeah, Kristen Babb Sprague, his wife on the 96 Synchro Olympic team. No, Donaldson. They had Donaldson as a guy with an MVP and 40 odd.
This is always the
runs.
question. Career, tenure versus peak. If we're going peak, it's going to be Donaldson.
Yeah.
Of course it's Donaldson.
And that seems to be where they weighted.
It would have to be, right? Like Delgado being in there.
Yeah. So to me, the only other person I would put in that third base option, because it's
Kelly Gruber.
Yeah, so that's my guy.
Of course.
Kelly Gruber.
It's a time and a place.
You are talking about a World Series winner.
Yeah.
You're talking about him coming down from third, doing the tomahawk chop right in Atlanta, scoring. You're talking about him concussing himself, sliding into home plate, banging his face on the ground. Like you could see his eyes roll up in his head as he's maybe knocked himself out. But Kelly Gruber was a gamer.
Yes.
And he had that not the double play, but a triple play.
Right.
That should have been called on the ankle. Like Kelly Gruber was my guy.
And did have some tenure, right? Like as opposed to a Donaldson where you'd go, eh.
You know what? I think Donaldson actually played more time in Toronto than Gruber.
Well.
Anyways.
Shut up, Matt.
That was Gruber only played 4 years, I think, in Toronto.
Okay.
But anyways, that's the guy I look at and go, maybe. Now, he was never an MVP.
No.
Catcher. If you think about a Jays catcher, who are you thinking?
Benji Molina.
Okay, you're close, man. You're close.
Look, it's Pat Borders or it's
Ernie Whitt.
Yeah, again, I guess before my time, right? Like, it's Pat Borders for me.
He's an AL Series MVP.
All that requires is 1 week of being hot.
Yeah, but
I know, but I'm just saying.
Heroes are remembered. Legends live forever, Matt.
Yep.
Banners. Check the banners, Matt. Anyways, Fox Sports.
It's Russ Martin.
Fox Sports went with Russ Martin.
That feels a little recency bias to me.
Yeah.
But in my world, it is down to him and Pat Borders.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And just to me, as Ernie Whitt was there as the team was in its ascendancy in the 80s.
As Buck Martinez is blowing out femurs and whatever else he's got to do.
But Buck was the Heineman in that group, right? Yeah. So you did have.
You never want to be the Heineman.
Well, somebody was saying, Buck Martinez hit for whatever change you had in your pocket.
Yeah.
What do you got there? $1.67. There we go, man. That's Buck's batting average.
And now, of course, we get to the toughest one.
Center field and center field. Yeah. Who do you got for center field?
Jose Cruz Jr.
See, I have Devon White.
Of course, it's not Jose Cruz Jr.
Devo, man. That guy, 2 World Series. He would catch everything. Like, you cover the lines over there, and I'm going to cover everything else in between.
Lamco.
Yeah, but not. It was not Devo.
Well, he was the W in the Whamco.
Yeah. No. I'm with you, Matt. But Fox Sports did not choose Devon White.
Oh, okay.
As the center fielder of all
Who's
time.
The fucker that was out there in 15, 16, who just retired.
Hey, that fucker. Pilar?
Kevin Pilar.
Kevin Pilar.
Yeah.
No.
Loved that guy, though.
Yeah, come on, man. You're taking Devo over Pilar.
Of course I am. I'm just saying I love that guy. I'm just saying I love that guy, right? I love Goins, right? Like Ryan Goins.
Ryan Goins.
Fuck yeah, man. That guy cared. That guy
Scotty Downs. Where's that guy?
Yeah, center fielders. Yeah, we're talking Vernon Wells. We're talking
Vernon Wells.
That's who they picked, eh?
They picked Vernon Wells.
Okay.
And I'm like, that is on a 5th place Blue Jays team.
Okay, but I think I'm with you, but I also had him on that list of guys who hit or got to 1,000 hits before Vlad.
Yeah.
Like, I think we
Where's Donald Garcia then? At shortstop.
But I think we downplay how good Vernon Wells was because he was on a team that wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. Like, it was a mediocre team. He was supposed to be the next great hope. And look, he was pretty good and just not the superstar and yet got to 1,000 hits faster than Vladdy, who was the most recent next great hope. Right?
And he went on, as I said, and he signed a big fat contract. And
it was in Anaheim and then in Texas maybe after that.
So Vernon Wells, and I'm not going to fight you. Shirts off, man. Tarts off. Let's do this. But Vernon Wells, sorry, and the DH, which we're not going to contest because that could be anybody.
Yeah.
To me,
It's got to be Vlad. Vlad's not on this team at all.
Vlad is not on this team. And so,
It's you and your 12 home runs at the All-Star
yeah,
break.
exactly. If you had 23 like Soto, you would be on this all-time team. No, to me, they took somebody else who could be in contest for the right fielder.
Sean Green?
Touch 'em all, Joe.
Okay.
Joe Carter is the
Do you almost not have
DH.
to give him
well. Do we?
the right field spot
Well,
as like it's
you're a
the-
two-time World
it's
Series
the
guy.
moment.
This is it.
And he was
so-
at first. He caught the Timlin.
But did he play first? Other than that,
No, but I'm not saying he's got to be our all-time first. But if you're, he hit the home run in '93. He caught the last out in '92. You're on the team, man. Like, you're,
Yeah. So DH, DH is where he is.
Okay.
Joe Carter is your all-time
Okay.
all-star DH for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Cito
Toronto
Gaston.
Blue Jays.
Cito Gaston is the manager,
Yep.
but not the all-time winningest manager. Any guess, Matt, on who the all-time
Carlos Tosca.
Carlos Tosca?
No
a
way.
very narrow
John Gibbons.
third. John Gibbons.
Yeah.
Gibby.
Yeah.
With his shirt hanging out because his belly's too large,
Love you, Gibby.
but not. Yeah.
We haven't hit a pitcher yet, though.
So it's only the starting pitcher. That's the only guy we have left.
And you can talk about Dave Steeb. You can talk about Roy Halladay. You can talk about Pat Henkin.
You can talk about Juan Guzman.
If you want to talk about peak, you can talk about Roger Clemens, who is not an all-time Blue Jay.
How about a Cy Young winner in Pat Henkin?
I mentioned Pat Henkin.
Did you just mention him right
Yes,
now?
I did. So when you kind of
I heard Steve, I heard Halliday, I heard Clemens. I didn't hear Henkin. Sorry.
No. So this is always the peak versus tenure versus, legendary status. I'm going to predict that this was Roy Halladay.
Give that man his money. Roy Halladay.
Yeah. Love Doc.
Yeah,
Love
well,
Doc.
Everybody does.
Loves Doc. Yeah.
But if you look at Dave Steeb,
Uh-huh.
like that, Dave Steeb is my guy.
Yeah.
Dave Steeb would
Did
fight.
I ever send you the 4-part YouTube doc on...
No.
Fuck, watch that, man.
But Dave
I'll send
Steeb is
it
a
to you
guy.
first.
Dave Steeb is a guy who would fight you.
Yes.
Just as soon as strike you out. Like he was a guy, and he's old school. Like he's a guy who played University of Northern Illinois as a center fielder,
Yeah.
not a pitcher.
I'm going to figure out a way to stay in this game. Like,
And somebody said, "Hey man, we need somebody to pitch," and
Yep.
he's like, "All right, I'll do it." And they're
I
like,
can do
"Steve,
that, yeah.
you got a good arm." He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
yeah.
And the fucking guy just like Buck Martinez still talks about. He's like, "Yeah, man, Steve and I would almost fight in the dugout because he'd be like, 'That's your fault,' and he's like, 'No, that's your fault.'" And two guys who can't get together on.
Yeah.
He was a gamer, and the
Yes.
number of no
Yep.
hitters into
Yep.
the ninth, like he was
On the
gritty.
verge of perfection
Tomorrow I'll be
a
perfect.
dozen times. Yes.
Like he just was such a gamer, and in those years, with the Frank Tanana and the Jack Morrises, like Jack Morris,
Yeah.
a World Series
91 in Minnesota.
winner,
Yeah.
and 92 in Toronto.
Yes.
Like that was old school baseball.
You just pitch till your fucking arm falls off.
And just big mustache, both those guys, right? And they're like, "Fuck you, man. We're gonna." And so to me, that was I'm gonna pitch inside. Don't get too close. Don't crowd. If you got a problem, you know where I am.
Here I am, man.
I'm 60 feet 6 inches away. Bring it.
Yeah.
Both those guys, and so those guys went head to head in the 80s. It was. I was a young baseball fan, but that's what I thought baseball was.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm always a Dave Steeb guy, and I'm not going to fight you on that either. Like to me, Roy Halladay, he was. How do you tear
Hanging
it down,
right there on the wall.
bring it back up, and
Yeah.
go? I'm going to rebuild this, and we're going to do this.
The number of days that guy stepped out, looked around behind him, and went, "Oh fuck, I better do this myself," and then did.
Yeah, stopper. That's the stopper, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
to me, that's where that
I rooted for that guy in Philadelphia when he got there.
that
right?
term came in vogue. Was the guy in your rotation that said, "Yeah, shit's not going well."
Yeah.
Bam. It stops here.
Yes.
Because I'm going to step up and I'm going to take care
I'll
of this
do it.
business
I'll
right
do it.
right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
AJ Burnett behind me ain't going to do it or whatever it's going to look like.
Yeah. And it's funny because
Kelvin Escobar behind me.
Because they brought Steve back to be on that 92 World Series roster. And Halladay came along late 90s, early 2000s.
Late 90s.
Like you were talking
So this is the greatest part. And look, these guys do amazing work. I'm going to link to it, and I'm actually going to remember to send it to Rob this time. But it is the story of Dave Stieb, and they do YouTube sports docs. And this one is 4 parts. Like how many times he came close to a perfect game and didn't quite get there. And like the moment they paint in this documentary of Dave Stieb being brought back in the late 90s, I think it is 99, and it's Doc's first start. And he gets almost to a perfect game, and it gets broken up in the 9th. Dave Stieb catches that in the bullpen. And you're just like, for a guy who has watched his own no-hitters and perfect games go down in flames over and over, and Doc is that close. And I always say it's Bobby Higginson. It isn't the guy who hit the... No, it is Bobby Higginson. I always think it's Tim Salmon. Doesn't matter. But, well...
Tim Salmon from Hockey Canada?
Tom Salmon? Tim Salmon?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just...
Yeah. But that's how they end their doc, is like Dave Stieb has been through this so many times himself. Here's Roy Halladay, and Dave Stieb just happens to be there in the bullpen on the day to catch when it happens to somebody else. He is a legendary, like a battler, a fighter. Like you've painted it perfectly with Jack Morris, like just these old time fuckers drifting into the 90s.
Yeah.
That like this is what it would have looked like in 1962. This guy's going to throw into the 10th or 11th inning himself.
Under your chin.
Yeah.
Little sweet chin music. And so to me, the fact that they were less than a decade apart, they feel like they were generations apart.
And they were
a
generation apart. But timeline-wise, not
they
really.
just feel like they are such different generations.
Yeah.
But for them, like you said, Steve to be in the bullpen
it's wild.
in 99, you're like, they are the same generation, but they are not the same generation, right? It's like Texas Ranger and Highway Patrol now, right? It's just like two different.
And they, as a YouTube doc, like paint it the right way. Like Dave Stieb catches it and like turns away, and like there's nothing to it. Like he's not trying to be dramatic, but like you can go like, oh man, right? Like this happened to me so many times. I just caught it.
This is Shakespearean in its tragedy.
This is the end of my time in Toronto, and here's a new generation of Toronto heartbreak.
Guess what? Here it is.
Yeah. So
excellent. Anyways, not sort of. There's no exclamation mark on this article. To me, you can take umbrage with some of the stuff, but.
Well, that's the whole point of any of these, right?
Yeah, of course it is.
Of course it is. It should have been Vlad. It should have been.
And Vlad will absolutely be on now because Delgado is the guy who is currently first or second in just about every offensive category in this franchise. Vlad will pass him.
Yep.
See, Delgado was a catcher, a right fielder, and a first baseman. Like to me, I think of him more as an outfielder, but.
It's really early, man, but I feel like I'm looking at Vlad right now wondering, are you about to Mark Recchi me? Is this that you are a star or are you an accumulator, right? Like, we got 15 years to find out.
Yeah, but Vlad is going to get 2,500 hits. Mm-hmm. Like, he's still got 1,500 more hits out in front of him. Like, he is going to be...
Is it because you are an all-time elite great, or are you a guy who was, Vernon Wells pace, Shannon Stewart pace?
See, the thing is, and you and I go to battle on the Mark Recchi thing is if you can be above average for a long period of time and have a couple of spikes of greatness. Mm-hmm. Like I remember looking and as a young guy in the maybe 90, looking at it and going, Mark Recchi. And at the time, it was just M. Recchi. Yeah. And it looked like Ricci to me.
Ricci, yeah.
Could be Mike Ricci. Mike Ricci. Yeah. And you're like, who's this fucking Ricci guy?
Fro.
And you're like, he's second or third in NHL scoring. Now, thank you, Mario. We appreciate that. But if you can have above average career with spikes of greatness, man,
You're gonna get in, man.
That's a Hall of Famer.
You're going to get in. All right, so that's it for today. Like I said, apologies, but nothing I could do about being under the weather, so wanted to make sure we got at least something out there for you. Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, Maconis Vita will be here on Thursday as the summer rolls on, the TCA summer sessions, and like I said, we'll try and drum up something else for you this week, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, have yourselves a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind. That made to look like a fool here. That's just dumb. I don't want anything to do with this place. This place is run by a bunch of children.